Welcome everybody, I'm Alexander Linz, Head of Content of WatchAdvisor.com. SIHH 2017 IWC Schaffhausen Pilot's watches. In brief, that's what I'm going to show you right now. So we are talking about Pilot's watches, we are talking about IWC Schaffhausen, and I think most of you know that these watches are one of the big pillars of the brand. It started in 1936 when the two sons of Mr. Romberger, the formerly owner of the company, decided, they were both pilots, decided to introduce these watches for IWC Schaffhausen. And since then the watches are one of the big pillars of the brand. In front of me, the new Spitfire watches. IWC Schaffhausen introduced those watches in the early 2000s, and since then they are part of the collection. At the beginning, Spitfire was meant to be a little bit more a lifestyle product, in the sense that you all remember these watches had silver gray dials and were supposed to bring more a lifestyle aspect in the collection. But today, and with this collection, I can tell you guys, these watches are again really focused on flying, and they're really back to what they're meant to be. They're really pilot's watches. First time also that we see watches made out of bronze. And I will talk to you right now in detail about these 7 watches that are in front of me. In the picture you see the Pilot's Watch Automatic Spitfire and the Pilot's Watch Chronograph Spitfire. Interesting with these 2 watches is their size. As you all know, the watches in the last years got bigger and bigger and bigger, and there is a demand for smaller watches. We all know that, and this is good to see that finally, or for this time, IWC decided to make these watches a little bit smaller. What do you guess? It's 39 millimeters, so perfectly probably fits on many wrists, and it's the original size of the Mark watches from IWC as they presented them in the past. A nice watch in a steel case, fitted with a NATO strap. And the chronograph also a very comfortable size, only 41 millimeters. That's the appropriate size we used to see for this Flieger chronograph of IWC Schaffhausen in the past. In the steel case, it's the movement now no longer the Valjoux 7750 or Celita. It's an in-house movement, the 6900 caliber, and you see the difference at the first view, because the running second has moved from the 9 o'clock position to the 6 o'clock position. So this clearly indicates you, when you see such a watch on a wrist, that it is not a Valjoux movement, but the in-house movement from IWC Schaffhausen, the 6900 series. That, by the way, is produced and manufactured in the new manufacturing building or manufacturing place in Neuhausen, in close to Schaffhausen. That's the site they opened up last autumn. So the watch features a date and day indication, as we used to see that on this type of chronograph. It's a steel case and nicely decorated, the case bottom, with the Spitfire, from where the watch takes its name. Before showing you the watches that have been made in a bronze case, I want to show you my favorite piece so far. This is the Pilot's Watch Timezoner Spitfire Edition, the longest flight. And this is the watch the 2 pilots will wear on their wrists when IWC is sponsoring a project where a Spitfire is going to fly around the world. Will start in August this year, and depending on weather and many other little facts, they are going to surround the world with a Spitfire. That is the very first time done, and this will be the watch the pilots will wear. And the nice thing with that Timezoner watch is, if you are changing a zone time, if you're changing a time zone and you have to adapt to a new zone time, you don't need to unscrew the crown and do some manipulations to get the next right time. The only thing you do is you push down the bezel, and as you can see, you are changing the hour hand and you can set it to the next zone time or time zone, the appropriate zone time in the time zone. And this is very easy to use. I have not seen any other watch featuring this. I show you back now. We're going back to 1 o'clock, the actual time here in Schaffhausen. And that's so easy. You just push and turn and you can change the zone time. Interesting also, of course, to see that the second hand does not stop, the minute hand does not stop. Would make any sense if this would be the case, because if you are moving from one time zone to the other and it's not a time zone where you either have a half hour or 15 or 45 minutes deviations, the minutes always are the same and the seconds also. And what would be the sense to stop the watch if you're buying an accurate Swiss-made wrist chronometer that is accurate to some seconds a day, and if the watch would stop. So once again, this is the watch, the Timezoner. Let me show you the back. You see the engraving of the silver Spitfire, the watch that will be on tour around the world starting this August, and it's a limited edition of 250 pieces made for the pilots and of course for you if you want to own one. And also very nice, it's the last thing to mention, is that nice big crown. You see, that's the crown they have been taking from the big pilots, from the big one. We adopt and put it here, adopted it and put it here on that case, and it really looks gorgeous. And if you need to manipulate the watch, it's really the perfect crown. To unscrew it, pull it out, you can change the date, and then you can of course adjust the hours and the seconds. In the picture now you have the 4 new editions of the pilot's watches in a bronze case. Bronze used for a pilot's watch is pretty new, because bronze normally is used for diving watches or sailing watches or whatever. And personally I have to admit, since these watches are already worn for a while, they have been manufactured some time ago, and they get a patina that is really, really nice. In the very beginning, the watches would probably look like a matte gold watch, but as soon as you start to wear them, these watches will get their proper color. So every watch will be different to the other one. So if two of you buy the same watch and you will start wearing the watch, you probably won't wear the same watch after a certain period of time. Depending on your lifestyle, depending on what you're doing with the watch will get its patina and look really gorgeous. And I have to admit, it was a pretty good idea to use bronze as a case material for a pilot's watch. So here, this is the first one. It's the automatic freehands watch, 39 millimeters, a quite reasonable size. The UTC watch is a little bit special in sense of it has a very special name. It is called UTC Spitfire Edition MJ271, and the watch is also limited to 271 pieces. Why? Because MJ, or Mike Juliet in the pilot's alphabet, Mike Juliet 271 is the first registration number of this Spitfire that is going to surround the watch. This is the chronograph, 41 millimeters, also in a bronze case, and the Perpetual calendar. So let's have a closer look to the automatic. The automatic, very good readable olive green dial. With a date indication. It is, as already mentioned, a bronze style and has, I'd say, titanium case back with the engravement of the Spitfire. Very nice looking. It's not limited, and as all the other watches I have been showing to you already, features an in-house automatic movement from IWC Schaffhausen, the 3200 series. The famous UTC watch from IWC Schaffhausen is the one limited to 271 pieces. That's the watch that comes or is dedicated to the Spitfire that is going to surround the world starting in August this year. And it's that famous UTC mechanism. You unscrew the crown, you pull it out in the first position. I hope I'm able to do this, yes. And what you can see, you can change if you are moving and traveling, and if you're getting into a new zone time, you can easily readjust local time by just pulling out the crown in its first position. The watch won't stop. You see the second hand is still running. The minutes therefore also continue to run or to be shown in the correct way, and you will be able to set the watch to your next appropriate zone time. And with the little opening underneath of 12 o'clock, you have the reference home time, so you always know if it is day or night at home, and yeah, the date. The chronograph, very nice also, uses the new 6900 caliber of IWC Schaffhausen, easily to see. I repeat myself once again, but it's very important for those who wear such a watch. The second, the moving or the running second, has moved from its 9 o'clock position to its 6 o'clock to a 6 o'clock position, so you easily recognize the in-house movement of IWC Schaffhausen at the 6 o'clock position. Indicates the date and the day. Very nice, 41 millimeters, also a bronze case, and also has a titanium case back as all the other models, laying here on the table and showing a Spitfire on its case bottom. And last but not least, the big Pilot in the edition with the double moon and the famous Perpetual calendar from IWC Schaffhausen, developed by Kurt Klaus, the watchmaker, the legend Kurt Klaus, we have to say, indicating you the date, indicating you the months, indicating you the leap years, the double moon, so you will be able to see the correct moon phase on the northern and on the southern hemisphere of the world. And it will also indicate you, and this is a very particular thing, it will also indicate you the entire written year. So you read 2019 on the watch. So very nice, and a nice execution here in a bronze case. And this watch, of course, since it is a very nice and very beautiful movement, features a sapphire crystal case bottom, so you can see the movement. On the tray, the 4 watches of the Spitfire collection in the bronze case from the IWC Schaffhausen SIHH collection 2019. You have the automatic version, you have the Spitfire UTC version that is limited to 271 pieces, you have the chronograph, and you have the Perpetual calendar that is limited to 250 pieces. So guys, thank you very much for watching these videos where I presented you the novelties of IWC Schaffhausen from the SIHH 2019. I hope you liked what you saw. Don't forget, of course, to check out our 2 other videos. In total, I made 3 videos showing the 3 different collections. And if you have any comments to make, use the comment section that's just underneath here. I'm more than happy to read your comments and to answer your comments. If in general you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to like our videos. And for today, I say goodbye from Schaffhausen.